and today we're gonna dive into it and go over every single update change that we could find. There is a lot of them. There's around 90 of them. So since there is so much to cover, I might be quicker in some areas than other, and I might be going quick here, but a lot of things to get through. Definitely like if you guys are excited for this update. If I missed anything, let me know down below, but hopefully you guys are excited. Stay tuned because as we get more stuff throughout the month, you're gonna see here first and everything. But thank you guys so much for the support. Definitely leave a like and subscribe if you're not already, and let's hop into this. So the first update change or thing coming in the update is Rosa, the new rare brawler. So her main attack is called Hands of Stone, and basically she double punches and she reloads incredibly fast, and she does a ton of damage. It's pretty crazy how much damage she can do. So she also has 7,000 HP. Now, she isn't on the release, or she's not coming on the release of this update, so if I had to guess, we'll probably see her in-game in either like a couple weeks or so, like if we looked at the last two updates, like when they released Carl and Jean. So we'll probably get her a little bit later, but we already know pretty much everything about her from the Brawl talk and everything. So yeah, 7,000 HP, her main attack is pretty crazy. Her super is insane. It's like a Daryl shield, but it lasts 6 seconds. And it looks like it deflects it reduces a ton of damage. So we don't have the exact number on that, but it seems to be like 50 to 80% how much damage she reduces, which is insane. And then her star power, when she is standing in the grass with a brush, she gains 300 HP, and that tick goes really, really quick. So she's going to be a very tanky brawler. I really covered her in depth and gave more of my thoughts on her in the Brawl Talk the Rosa gameplay video if you want to check that out from yesterday. But I'm hyped for her, and hopefully you guys are as well. And then we also have 2 new skins as well. This is the second and the third changes. We have Bunny Penny, probably coming soon here. I assume we're going to see it in-game pretty quickly because Easter is coming up very soon. Then we also have Sheba Nita as well, which I'm excited for this as well. I assume they're both going to be limited edition, and all we have so far is their portraits of how they look, but I don't know. I'm really excited for them. So now let's move to number 4. This is actually a huge change. I'm really excited to see what you guys think of this, but it is mine carts. So you can see the train tracks. How this works is these carts go around, and if you hit them, they knock you back and deal damage. Now, the one comes from this little area over here, and the other one comes from this way, and it comes down. Now, if you stand right on the track and you get hit by it and you stay in it, it can actually kill you. So you can die from the mine carts, but this is gonna be awesome. They block shots, they push back brawlers. Like, it's gonna be very interesting to time, and it's gonna be really imperative that you actually have your volume on because the train makes a little bit of a noise. It's gonna block the pets as well, so it's gonna be very interesting to see the metas on this map with the carts and everything. So I'm excited. Let me know your thoughts on the new map element. It's very awesome. So now the 5th change through the 13th change are all new maps. And now we just showed you the first one, which is the Minecart Madness. New map with the new map element. It's the only one of its kind so far. I assume if it does well, like with the trains or the minecarts, we'll probably see more maps with that element. It's kind of like how the jump pads were a new thing last time. We have 2 new showdown maps. We have Flying Fantasies. Look at all of those jump pads in there. That's going to make it very interesting. It kind of reminds me of like the jump pads from like Fortnite or whatever. Say like the storm is closing in on you, you can jump pad into the middle. And then we have Royal Runway. When I first saw Runway, I thought there was going to be like a minecart driving through the middle of this map, which I would like to see as well. But no, it's just like a huge map that's very wide open. Now, I have my concerns with this map. It seems as though the maps that are very wide open and cater to the long-range brawlers and the brawlers that kind of like stand in the corners of the maps, those are the maps that we have the most trouble with teaming. So I'm not excited for this map at this time because I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of camping and teaming and people standing in the corners, and it's not gonna be a great time. That's just my first. It looks cool, but that's my initial thoughts on it. Kind of like how Hot Point is. We have one new Brawl Ball, which is center stage here. This map I think it looks pretty good for Rosa because there's grass, a lot of cover, and she's gonna be a tanky beast. And now we have 4 new siege maps too. With how popular Siege is, it only made sense for them to focus the most on this and add some crazy maps. So I like the design on this one. You have to like loop around or try and get that control. I still think it's going to be very similar to the meta how it is now. And then we have sparring match. A little bit more open in the middle, but on the sides, a lot of close rangeness. So, I mean, with the siege maps, there's not really a whole lot you can do. It's either you have like a wide open middle or you have a very close quarters because of how much the Ikes take up. So that's another one. And then we have straight shot, which you can see like right down the middle. It's kind of open, and then there's that waterfront there. So interesting with that. My favorite one out of the bunch is probably assembly attack. I don't know, I just feel like this is going to be kind of crazy with all the different dynamics that you can do in the different pathways. But obviously, if you're running like a Brock or anything that can destroy the walls, the more opened up it gets, it's not really going to matter. But I'm pretty happy with the siege maps. And then we have one new boss fight map called Danger Zone, but I don't have a way to show you that. That's just in the patch notes that I'm able to share with you guys. So one new boss fight map coming soon, probably next rotation. So now let's get into the balance changes. This is where a large bulk of the changes are. We're going to use like each change to a stat or whatever, or a bug fix or something is going to count as one change for this. So that starts at 14 all the way to 34. That's where a large majority of the changes are for these balance changes. So we have Crow here. They increased his main attack damage from 280 to 300. At max level, obviously you can see it's at 420. So a Crow buff is finally here. And then they also increased his super damage from 280 to 300. So at max level, it's going to be 420. So Crow finally receiving his buff. So there was lots of changes to Carl here. They increased his boomerang speed by 25%. So what this is going to feel like pretty much is if before, like you guys know how if you didn't have your star power is really slow. Now it's going to feel like if you have the star power. And now if you have the star power, it goes even faster. So pretty crazy. They increased his super duration from 2.5 seconds to 3 seconds. So you can get places quicker. You can deal more damage. And then they stuns, pushbacks, and pulls now interrupts Carl's super. So he can get stunned out of it, which is going to suck. But I think that added time, which is half a second, is going to be very beneficial. And then they also fixed a bug causing Carl's to not reload when the boomerang returned. I actually never had that happen to me. It would always reload when it returned to me. That would suck if it didn't, but I'm glad they fixed it. And then when Carl spawns, he no longer has a reload animation. So a lot of changes to Mr. Carl here. For Daryl, they increased his health from 4,000 to 4,200. You can see at max level, he's gonna have 5,880. This is gonna be a nice change for him. Survive a little bit more, so I'm excited for that. So this one I am incredibly surprised for. They buffed Shelly. They increased her main attack range from 7.33 tiles to 7.6 tiles. So they increased her range, and she already has an insane range to begin with. And then they increased her main attack projectile speed by 5%. So her shot goes faster and it goes further. I think early on, when people are very reliant on the auto aim and like Shelly and everything, they're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, Shelly's even better now. Why? Well, I understand it for like higher trophies and everything, but the lower trophies are gonna feel like Shelly's even more OP than she was. So interesting to see that. So we have 3 Piper changes here. They increased the number of bombs dropped from her super from 3 to 4. They increased the super bomb damage from 800 to 900. And bombs now spread on a little bit larger area. So let's check out this super. One change that I just wish they did, so we get 4 bombs now. One change that I just wish they did if it wasn't as random where her bombs go. But with 3 changes with that, make her super a little bit better. I just think if you change to be able to allow that super to not be random, it'll be sufficient enough. Now, Jean, they have 6 changes. A lot of them are bug fixes, but it's pretty crazy here. So they fixed a bug that allowed Jean to pull the robot boss so that it got stuck in boss fight. They fixed a bug that caused Jean's pull to stick enemies inside walls when pulling close to an indestructible wall. So this happened a lot in Brawl Ball. I saw it on Twitter all the time where like a Jean would be standing in their own goal and they would drag like a Primo or something and it would get stuck in a box there and the Primo could not move. So glad they fixed that. They fixed a bug that didn't allow Jean to pull enemies with his magic hand while being poisoned by a level 10 crow. Glad they fixed that. The next one is when a pulled enemy dies during the pull, the hand no longer destroys the environment. So if the brawler dies while you're dragging it, it's not going to take care of the blocks as well. When Jean is pulling a target with his magic hand, he cannot be pulled by another Jean. Jean himself can still be pulled. It's the brawler that's being pulled. So if you snatch onto a brawler and you're dragging him and another Jean tries to drag that brawler, it can't be done. Once Jean locks on and drags a brawler, it's going to that Gene no matter what. And then now his auto aim or his quick fire now takes into account his long range, because sometimes like if a brawler was out of like this range right here where his white outline is for his main attack, it still wouldn't aim towards a brawler, but now it'll take into account that his range is actually much longer than that. Hefty Pam is receiving some nerfs, so they decreased her main attack damage from 260 to 240, so you can see her damage per bullet now went down a little bit. They decreased her health from 4,400 to 4,300, so it's a change by 100. So not the hugest change in the world. You can see at max level she has 6,020. And then they also, enemy Pam's healing station now triggers Nita's and Pam's star power. So that's actually kind of two changes, but I only left it as one. So if Nita's bear is hitting one of those stations, they're going to regain that health. And then now if Pam is hitting that the enemy's heal station, they're going to regain that health as well. They originally took that out, I think, for Life Leech, but Life Leech isn't in the game anymore, so makes sense to add it back. Now for Mr. Leon, 3 nerfs in a row. Is this 4? They decreased his super invisibility time from 8 seconds to 7 seconds. I've said it all along. Super for 10 seconds is way overpowered. I feel like his supers for invis should last 5 seconds, and then they don't get that buffer zone to see when he's coming. And similar to how that Gene auto aim would take into account the shot that burst off after it, it's the same thing with Spike. You guys know how Spike, when he throws his main attack, how spikes come out. It'll take into account the range with those, so it'll be a little bit better. So I feel like auto aimers, you're getting a good benefit with Gene and Spike now. So now for Showdown here, we have some anti-teaming measures. So the game modifiers have some changes. So for the 35th change, meteors now target teamers with better UI, or better AI. So I'm excited for that because the meteors are most likely going to go towards people that are teaming a little bit. And then meteor explosions radius is bigger. So sadly, in the dev build right now, I don't have meteor shower to show you guys, but the explosion's bigger and it's going to target teamers. I'm all for that. And the 37th change now as well. Healing mushrooms now target non-teamers with better logic as well. So if you're teaming, you're not going to see a lot of healing mushrooms near you. And it's the same thing for the 38th change with energy drink. They now target non-teamers with better logic, or basically the energy drink is not going to spawn more near teamers, which is going to be awesome because it's going to give those people that aren't teaming a big chance to basically survive. We also have Brawl TV. You can see on the top right, Brawl TV chilling there. That's going to spectate the top matches going on for whoever's queuing up. Now, it's going to be hard to snipe, I think, to be on Brawl TV because it switches through game modes. It's going to go through like Showdown, Duo Showdown, Gem Grab, and all that, and it's going to like rotate, but you can see the top players queuing up in that mode. That's gonna be, I think that's gonna be very helpful so people can understand maybe what brawlers to play on what maps and whatever. So I'm really excited for Brawl TV. Now we have a next thing which I'm incredibly excited for. You see this try button right here? This is actually the training cave, which they say you can use brawlers that you don't have unlocked or try them out, and brawlers that maybe have like a skin or something. I don't know if you can try the skin just yet. I'll have to wait and see on that, but from my understanding is you can. But basically this training mode, you just get to test out the new brawlers. It's kind of like a tutorial for each one. So excited for that. And then they have, if you look at the top right, they have the new DPS counter. So this is actually the 41st change. And I think this will be awesome because you can actually see how much damage per second you are dealing. So for the 42nd change, they added the Polish language into the game. And for the 43rd change, they added the Hebrew language. So if you guys live there, you can get in your own language now. So now they have a name change for gems. Before they had like one free name change or whatever. So now it's still gonna be one free one for your first one that you change. And then now it's gonna increase in gems. For the patch notes that we have, it's gonna be 60 after your free one. And then it's gonna be 90, 120, and 150. So if you wanna change your name, can do it for gems. There is also going to be the new Golden Week, which is for the Japanese holiday. It's coming soon. Actually, I should have looked it up, but it's gonna have a new background, similar probably to the Lunar New Year. You know how it turned red? So this one's probably gonna be turned like the similar color to the Shiba Nita. I think they already kind of maybe spoiled the background, and it's gonna have its own set of music. And our 46th change is Mr. Bo here. Got the new skin, the new look to him. I personally like it. He's a lot more polished. And then for the 47th and 48th change, along with his skin, they changed his main attack. So you can see the arrows look really, really sweet. And then his super as well Look at that, those projectiles. Now, if they get blown up, they look pretty sweet too. They got a nice little detonation. 49th changes. Carl has some voice acting here. Can hear all of his little phrases. Oops, meant to go to Carl. So I don't know. I didn't expect him to be like the evil. Sounds kind of evil to me. It sounds like he's probably the same voice actor as the Mortis. Our 50th change already is Leon's main attack. They look like little razors, and they look sweet. We have Little Helper Penny. This is the exclusive Christmas one, so if you bought it, you have an upgraded main attack now. Before it looked the exact same, and you see the projectile, it still shoots out coins when it hits. Actually, no, those are not coins. You see, those are like golden light bulbs. So that's really, really sweet. I didn't realize that. So her main attack has changed. Her super still looks the exact same with the turret and everything. And then Boombox Brock has a new like animation, because you guys know how before he would just like drag down his sunglasses and he didn't have any, so it was just like his hand would just go up and down. And then now he also got some like breakdancing moves here, so kind of cool. Fits the theme better. 53rd change, Spike's attacks have better polish, so they just look more vibrant, like the ball that he's throwing. And then his super, it has a little bit more of the added effects like the chunks and everything. So they changed it last update, I think, but it looks even better this one. Then they also said they have a new attack animation for Primo on his main attack. It just looks like more punches come out, and it looks like a little bit more like cloudy like, so pretty cool. So the 55th change is Wizard Barley, which kind of got outshadowed by the Wizard Barley, which you just got for connecting your Supercell ID, and it was free. So this one, they changed how his main attack looks like the bottle. So you can see how it's got like the blue on it. It's got some distinction to it, so maybe it'll make some people want to play him. I still personally think Wizard Barley is better, but at least they changed it up a little bit. And number 56, if you go to your profile and you go to your little name here, so you can actually change the color of your name to whatever color you want. So before you had to like type in codes, but now you can just change it. The 57th change, I don't have a way to show you right now unless my Wi-Fi just gives out, but they improved the connection symbol during battle. So I assumed maybe it's not going to take up so much space, and if you're actually still able to play, it's not going to be as annoying to look at. The 58th change is they increased the super radius button. So it's not the button size itself that they increased, it's the radius at which you can click it. So I'm trying to see the difference. So you can kind of click on the outer line of it to get to it. So right at the end, you can click it and kind of move it a little bit more. So they increased that touch range on it. 59th change is they increased the second gem spawn in gem grab to spawn a little bit later, so it's a little bit more fair. Because before, by the time we would get to the middle, there would already been 2 gems that have spawned. So it's a little bit more fair, and it's not, you actually have to fight a little bit to get that second gem. So now the 60th change is like you can see if a bear has a star power. I didn't really see it on that enemy bear, but when you throw your bear, or a pet, it says if you have the star power. So when I throw this bear, you're gonna see lightning bolts above its head. I believe that means that's when you get the star power, you know it's gonna be like a star power bear. I assume that's probably gonna be even with like a star tower turret or anything with Jesse. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, like other than that, I don't really see the other star power indication except for when you right when you throw it. So the 61st through the 72nd are all bug fixes here. So I'm just going to read through them quick. So Robo Rumble fixed an issue in Robo Rumble where the enraged melee robots were not hitting the safe. So I saw that a few times. A Brawl Ball fixed an issue that caused ball to bounce from walls that were destroyed while the ball was moving after a kick. So now you can be like kind of more aggressive if you use like a shelly to burst, like you throw the ball, break a wall, and then the ball will actually go through it now. So happy about that. Brawl Ball own goal is attributed to the last player from the opposing team to touch the ball. So now if you actually scored your own goal, it's going to give the goal to someone else. It's going to say like they scored the goal. Brawl Ball, when Penny's star-powered mortar explodes after a goal, it no longer shoots out cannonballs. So it kind of sucked when right at the end of the game in Brawl Ball, if a Penny mortar just happened to be right here by your spawn, there's a good chance you're going to get hit by them. Fixed an issue that prevented spectating while already in the game room. Fixed double rank up token reward not being visualized correctly in the battle end screen. Fixed an issue that caused a player to be unable to reject/accept game room join request. Fixed an issue that caused online time for new club members to be shown as less than 1 month ago. So even if we logged on an hour ago, it still would say less than a month ago. Fixed an issue that caused club member statuses to not update instantly. Matchmaking hints are no longer displayed for unreleased brawlers. Okay. Season end trophy decay handling improved. Fixed a bug where you could end up having the super button stuck down if you shot your super at the exact same time when you got hit by a pushback. So glad that's fixed, even though that never happened to me, but I assume that would be annoying if you couldn't use your super then. So the 73rd change said there is improvements to the tutorial. It would be hard. Okay, I think the change is that it deals 900 damage to each of those bots, because sometimes you would shoot one of those and you would have to wait for the reload. 74th change is matchmaking is slightly more difficult for people that are playing in teams. So I don't know if this is going to mean a change in the matchmaker where you have a higher chance to play against other teams, or if it means it's like the quality of players or the higher trophy players or whatever they consider a better player, you might have a better chance of playing against better players if you're playing as a 3-man team. Well, before, settings were in this tab all along their own. Now settings have been moved into their own tab. As you can see right here, this little button up top here is no longer just the settings tab. And then the 76 changes, there is a line connect button. The battle log is now moved into this slide bar tab as well, and it looks a little bit different. It's not just the notebook paper anymore. And then the leaderboards were moved into here as well with their own little section too. That's the 77th change. And then the 78th change is like the clan chat setting up in here, like the box itself, this sidebar tab, the shop tab, brawler tab, social tab, news tab is all the same color as like the brawler or like the game mode change here in that gray color. It used to be blue, like the clan chat used to be blue. All these side tabs used to be a light blue as well. So now they're all switched to gray to look a little bit cleaner. 79th change is the news tab is moved all on its own to the left-hand side. That means there is no longer anything on the right-hand side besides friendly games. So maybe something's gonna go in there in the future, I don't know. 80th change is our profile stats. Got a improvement to their look as well. They are all gray as now. They had like the boxes around them too are all the same color. They used to look bluish as well. 81st change is the XP has been moved down to its own little thing there and got shrunk. Now the 82nd change is like the new name tag spot where you can change the name and everything or the color of the name. And then now the profile gear to change your like icon and then your name. See that gear? That is actually a little bit different as well. Before it was like in a box, I think. Another change too is you see the like you guys know how however far you are in the trophy road, you see that trophy that you can just go to. Like if you're really far in the trophy road, well that got a different look as well. To go back to your profile, that little tab as well got a change. You see how it kind of looks like a mini newspaper kind of. So those two got changes. And with that news tab change, that takes us all the way up to 85 changes already. So now actually 85 was the end of it until we got some added information of some stuff that was missed in the patch notes that was given to us. It's some seed changes, and then the Poco Super actually got a buff as well. So before the update, at max level, his super buffed you by healed you by 2,576. Now it is 294. So pretty slight increase. It's like around 364. Yeah, 364. So it's better, I guess. That extra 364 health will be pretty decent. The 87th changes in Siege, bolts spawn a little closer to the middle. They're less random in the up and down directions. This is gonna be nice because it rewards you for having more control and being able to like. It's not gonna be as unfortunate if they keep spawning on your opponent's side and you have to dive like super far in. Now it's gonna be more of that. If they're spawning in the middle, it's a more skillful game mode. Frank's stun only works for a split second on the Ike now. It's not going to stun it for super long. It's probably going to be like in big game when you stun that boss, you know, it'd be only for that slight second. So I'm excited for that. The 88th change is the Ike no longer makes area damage with its projectile. So now it's only going to be targeting one single player and only deal damage to that one player. It's not going to deal the splash damage. Last change, this is the 90th change. The Ike projectile now homes to the target, meaning it will hit a charging bull. Still not hitting in-air units like El Primo jumping. So if a bull is charging, it's going to hit him. We're going to wrap it here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Like I said, that is 90 individual changes in the update. That is a lot, and there's still probably some things that I missed. Let me know what your favorite thing about the update is. Rosa, we're probably getting a little bit later. If we get it soon, you'll see it here, or whenever we get it, you'll see it here first. The 2 new skins, we'll cover those when they come out as well. But let me know what you guys think of this update. Are you excited? Are you sad that some things aren't in it or whatever? But I'm curious to your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We covered a lot in this video, so sorry if it was quicker or I didn't spend too much time on some things. I wanted to get through